Music, one of life's greatest pleasures, has tremendous power. The power to bring a tear to the eye or quiet a racing mind. Music also has the power to heal and has been used through the ages to treat depression, create energy, induce sleep, relieve chronic pain, reduce stress, and even cure diseases. And now, musician and author Michael Tyrrell has created Whole Tones, the healing frequency music projects. These frequencies were studied in the music of King David and believed to have astounding healing effects. Now you can benefit from this revitalized ancient healing music therapy simply by listening daily to this music in the comfort of your own home, car, or office. Reward yourself with the gift of healing and transformation. Don't miss this opportunity to get an absolutely free sample of this music so that you can begin benefiting right away. Just visit WholeTonesLive.com and get a free sample of these soothing, relaxing, revitalizing musical tones. Visit WholeTonesLive.com today for your free sample. That's WHOLETONES Live.com. WholeTonesLive.com.
Blog Talk Radio.
People tell me every day love is gonna come my way, searching for clues that I hope to find. Want something that's gonna last. I wanna live and forget the past. I know this change is gonna do me good. I know this change is gonna do me good. Even though it hurts me now, I know this change will do me good. Blow. If you got a clue, then let me know. Don't hold back now. Give me a sign. Tell me something really good. Like live your dreams, you know you should. I know this change is gonna do me good. I know this change is gonna do me good. Even though it hurts me now, I know this change will do me good. Everything changes in its own way. I'm feeling better every day, and I'm gonna look back at all of this someday, and I'm gonna even though it hurts me now, I know this change will do me good. Even though it hurts me now, I know this change will do me good.
Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona, with Spiritual Image Production on Blog Talk Radio and FreeConferencing.com, establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values. Hello. Excuse me. Oh my God. I apologize, but tonight we're doing Andrew Aloha live. Tonight we're talking with Kim Janikos, all the way out of Japan. I got to check this to make sure. I don't know if it's now. Kim, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me at all?
Are you on my line?
On whose line? Oh, wait a minute.
It's Liz.
Oh, Liz. Oh, well, what are you? Oh, okay, hang on a second. Time out. Okay, now Tam, can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Okay,
Yay.
okay, so I had you guys backwards. You guys are funny. Whatever. You're playing with me. I see how you are.
She's my new alter ego. She's my new co-host on my radio show. But we still have to see how that's
alter something for sure. That's for sure. So, all right. Okay, so we got that straight. What's that?
She is now called Mama Ganja on my show.
Mama Ganja on my show.
Yep, that's me.
What's that?
I said that'd be me.
Okay. So just to let you guys know, let me see. I'm trying to get myself organized, and sometimes everything's a smooth sailing on the show, and other times it's like a complete nightmare, and then other times it's in between. So right now it looks like it's in between.
Don't worry, Andrew.
Tonight,
when me, you, and Liz
What's
are
that?
together all on one call, the whole universe is going to explode. So just let it all go. Don't worry about what's going to.
Well, I guess we're going to be creating a new solar system. Why not? Why the heck not? So now, just to let you know, tonight we're doing the Andrew Aloha Live. This is the interview series, part of the series of the shows that we do on Sunday nights and sometimes Friday nights. Tonight we're talking with Tim about his book Myth Shattering. And just to let you know, Myth Shattering is a semi-autobiographical biographical novel about a young punk rock kid in Wuthering Beach, Southern California. With his punk rock friends, he steals marijuana plants from his neighbor's backyard, smokes them in the group's underground clubhouse, and shoplifts for munchies on a daily basis. However, one summer afternoon, while trying to hide a large bag of marijuana in his apartment's garage, he discovers his dead father's revolutionary book collection. The things he reads in these books open his eyes wide to the nefarious history of the U.S. government and the nefarious nature of its foreign and domestic policy. This awakening causes him to search for other like books, which further awaken him to the need for revolutionary change in his country. However, the more he learns, the more bewildered he becomes and more withdrawn he becomes from school and social life until he is on the brink of total despair. What finally saves him are the books in his father's collection about Nichiren Buddhism. Is that how you say that word?
Nichiren.
Oh, Nichiren Buddhism. For more on Tim Janikos and Myth Shattering, you can go to www.tjmusic.org. And we're going to talk to Tim and more about this book and more about this awakening and so forth. But right now, what I want to do is to give a big aloha to all of our underwriters that help make this show happen from week to week, month to month, year to year, beginning with Mahadikini Lorraine at www.mahadikini.com. Mahadikini Lorraine's life has been a personal journey exploring sexuality and spirituality for over 20 years. She's a certified tantric counselor and tantric healer and a certified mind sound teacher. Mahadikini Lorraine is also a graduate of Margot Non's year-long skydancing Tantra Facilitator Training Program and is a current member of the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselor and Therapists Club, and a charter member of the Association of Sexual Energy Professionals. She regularly attends trainings and conferences to keep current with the latest research and information on sexual education. And then we have the 90-Day Ascension Journey at www.90dayascensionjourney.com. When you sign up for the 90-Day Ascension Journey, you will be facilitated with defining and redefining your soul true life purpose. You will be assisted with finding out what ascension means to you. On this journey, you will be provided with tools, techniques, and assistance to empower you to connect and reconnect with yourself and your emotions and feelings in your mind, body, and spirit. Through a universal soul-centered process, you will be going through a lifelong transformation that will allow you to move forward with the endeavor and never look back if you dare. Then we have Zakarin Shion at www.zakarin.com. Zakarin teaches you how to co-create heaven on earth, how to become empowered to co-create heaven in your life, how to master the law of attraction, to make your dreams come true, and learn tips on how to focus your energy and attention in a consistent, persistent way so you can be healthy, wealthy, and happy. Ask questions, find out the secrets of the universe, find out how easy creating heaven on earth is in your life. The Chiron is an emissary of love and light, completely dedicated to the awakening of humanity to their full mastery and the co-creation of heaven on earth. And finally, we do have the Hypnotic Hairdressers Salon Secrets at www.hypnotichairdresser.com. Few who work in the beauty industry, especially cosmetologists, realize that the services they perform on a daily basis contain elements of some of the best-kept secrets in the world by experts in the fields of hypnosis, influence, persuasion, and subconscious communication. Therefore, Michelle Madison's knowledge of the neuroscience of the why behind the how enables the hypnotic dresser the art and science of the 60-second subconscious cell to create amazing personal and professional success. And then, and again, if you guys didn't catch some of this, or you missed some of this, or you want to go back over some of this, you can go to spiritualimageproductions.com, spiritualimageproductions.com. On the right-hand side, there's a place that you can sign up to the email list and keep abreast of everything that's happening with Andrew Aloha, myself, and I, and Spiritual Image Productions. And then on the left-hand side, there's a link that says Andrew Aloha Live. You click on that link, and that'll take you to the page where I'm at right now, and then you can go back over any of the information that's there on that page, including the information about TAM and our underwriters and so forth. So, and in the meantime, I do want to thank you for being here, Tim. I would say that it might be past your bedtime, but you're all the way in Japan, and you told me it's 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday right now. Is that correct?
Now it's 11. It was 10:30 when we first started talking.
Oh, excuse me. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, fine. So, no, at least we're not keeping you up, and it's not in the because I've done a few interviews where they're in the middle of the night and they're like tired, and I know, I understand that, but so anyhow.
But, even if it was the middle of the night, if I got plugged into Andrew Aloha, I would be like I wouldn't need to drink coffee because I'd be like on steroids, so I'd be fine. Because you're the Energizer Bunny. So anyhow, if you can just kind of give us a background of who you are, where you're coming from, and then what actually prompted you to write this book, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But I want to thank area code 954, area code 520 and 1111, or excuse me, area code 586. Thank you for stopping by. I am going to open up the phone lines to Q&A during the second half of the show. We're going to play some music during the second half of the show, and then after that, you can ask all the questions you guys want, and then go from there. So, if you want to stay on till then, that's great. And if not, then thank you anyhow. But right now, what I want to do is just kind of get a gist about who Tim is, who Jim Janikos is. Is that how you say your last name? It's actually Janakis.
Janakis.
Like, okay. Don't knock us, Janakis. Don't knock us until you try us.
Well, okay, sure. Why not? So anyhow, just kind of give us just a background about who Tim Janakis is, where you grew up.
That might be dangerous, but.
Well, believe me, everything goes on this show, so it doesn't have my feelings at all.
Cool. So actually, I wrote my first book. I wrote this book, Myth Shattering, in order to find out who I was, because I'm still, after writing this book and then writing 2 more books, and I'm on my 3rd and 4th. Actually, I wrote 4 books, and then I'm writing my 5th and 6th book. So I think what I was trying to do with writing all my books is to find out who I was, and I'm still every day learning who I am. So I'll try to tell you what I think I am or what I might be. I was named after Timothy Leary. So if you know anything about LSD, he was the doctor of LSD at Harvard University. And he was kicked out of Harvard University for doing all the LSD testing on his students. So my dad, Stephen Francis Janakis, who was a crazy hippie, and my mom, Terry, what was her name, Terry Krause, when they met, were tuning in, turning on, dropping out, and
I came out of them in a hippie camp in Big Bear, but Big Bear didn't have any hospitals, so they had to drive down the mountain to Apple Valley. I've only been to Apple Valley for a couple of days when I was born. I don't remember anything about it. But we moved to.
No, I lived in that area up for about 3 years. I was in the Air Force. I was stationed at George Air Force Base, and that was like right next to Apple Valley. In fact, I went to school there. I believe just a community college. But yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, you know more about my birth town than I do, because I've driven by the hospital I think once or twice since I was born. So Big Bear is a really cool place. I played concerts there. I like Big Bear, but I would like to live there again, but I was only born there. And then we lived in Laguna Beach, which Laguna Beach was for a while a gay community, then it was a hippie community, then it was a gay community, then it was an art community. Every year they have the Sawdust Festival, which is an international art festival in Laguna Beach. So that's the center of Orange County, the OC, which there's actually a drama, Laguna Beach, I think, along with the OC drama. I haven't watched either of those because I'm not into those teen dramas, but I was born in the belly of the beast there. I was raised in the belly of the beast. And then my mom left my dad when I was 2 years old, so we changed our name. And I didn't use Janakis again until I published this first novel, because my mom was afraid my dad was still tuning in and turning on, and he was still a crazy person and would find us and kill us. So she didn't want me to use that name. But finally I used it in my novel, and I decided to stick with it, Janakis. But it's spelled really, my birth name was spelled with a G, Gianakos, but I pronounce it Janakis just like it's spelled, because I'm in Japan, and if I put Gia, they will say Gianakis, and I'm not Gianakis, I'm Gianakis. So I changed the name. But then I went to about 10 different junior colleges in the 80s and 90s, 90s, I guess, all 90s. 10 years I went to junior colleges. I was just looking for the answer of the universe, and I took every class possible, but mostly music classes. And one side of me tells me I was looking for girls, but I never found any girlfriend there. So I went to actually 7 or 8 different junior colleges and never found a girlfriend. So I ended up going.
So the only reason you went to the junior colleges was to find a girl?
No, I was looking for the answers to the universe, but at the same time I was looking for a girlfriend too. But I just realized
you thought you could find them in a girl. Now I understand.
Yeah. So I didn't find any girls in college, so I ended up going to Soka University of America, which opened right near Laguna Beach, where I grew up. It's in Aliso Viejo. I was the first graduating class of the year of 2005, and I wrote the novel right before going to Soka University, but I was looking for publishers and everything but I was in the middle of my 4 years of real college, not junior college, and I was overworked, and I wrote 1,000 pages of essays, which I published in 3 books after I graduated. So I asked my novel, I tried to find publishers for it, and I finally asked my novel, does it want to have a publisher? My novel told me no, it wants to be self-published, so I self-published my novel.
Okay, hang on a second. What do you mean you asked your novel?
So I've been learning. Okay, so for those people who don't know me already, I'm an energy healer. I didn't know I was an energy healer until about 3 or 4 years ago, but ever since I was, that goes deeper down the rabbit hole. Ever since do you know what a walk-in is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
so you're
so actually,
walk-in.
I'm telling you the story of who I thought I was until recently, and I found out lately that actually that kid, Tim Janakis, when he was about 1 or 2 years old, was riding his pony, which was a little teeny white pony. I have a very clear memory of this pony. And he was riding it down the street, and this guy backed over him, and he should have died. But that's when I changed places with him. So who I really am, I'm still trying to figure out.
That's when the walk-in occurred. It was when you're 1 year old.
Yes.
I've heard of several walk-ins, but usually they occurred later on, like in 20s, 30s or so, something like that. But I've never heard of something occur that early.
So people ask me things about, I can remember clearly from that day on most of my life history. So I was 1 or 2 years old. I remember my dad taking me my first movie. He walked me down the street to see Jesus Christ Superstar which just came out. I was 72. So I can remember very clearly things when I was a baby. And most people, my friends I went to 10-year reunion a long time ago in high school, and I was like, who are all these old people? And then recently my 10-year university reunion I didn't go to, but everyone was 10 years younger than me, supposedly, when I went to school. But actually, I was younger than them biologically. So I'm kind of on a backwards aging process. So I don't know how that exactly works, but I have
you're
different
getting
DNA.
younger instead of older. Is that what I hear?
Well, I'm kind of not really. Well, everyone's body is 7 years old. So the oldest part of your body is your brain. The next part is maybe your heart and your lungs and your other major organs. So most people are about 7 years old. So when we say our age, the only way to do it is to lie. So I don't really tell people my age anymore because I don't know my age. I just say I'm from time without beginning, which is Kuango, because I've always existed. I always will exist. I've never died. I've never been born. I was a walk out in my last life.
So much for doing your astrology chart. Forget it. That's what I say.
Yeah, all those things don't apply to super. Well, okay, what I am and what I think I am, what I think I might be, is what actually all of the callers listening in and everyone on the program is actually. We are all infinite beings from time without beginning. So my radio program, I was calling it for a long time, From Time Without Beginning, but I recently changed it to Major Tim to Ground Control. Because
I noticed that. That's such a funny title. I was laughing at that earlier.
So I went through many different things. I moved to Japan right after I graduated Soka University, and I decided to publish my. Oh, so you were asking me how I talked to my novel. Okay, so what if everything in this universe is fully conscious? Even the altar I'm sitting in front of, even this light that I have turned on, which I should turn off because my wife's going to get mad at me. She always gets mad at me for leaving lights on in the daytime. Anyway, everything. Our computers are fully conscious. My headphone set is fully conscious. My book is fully conscious. So instead of having a relationship means the separation between two things. What if we can have full communion with everything? So if we can have full communion with our novels, with our books, with our radio program, with our internet, with our everything, and we can be fully one, which is all oneness, then we can fully communicate and we can know what everyone wants and what everyone needs. I shouldn't use that word want because that means to lack. What everyone truly desires. And we can be that with them, for them, and we can co-create this moment together. So, I really do know who I am.
See, you're doing what I do with the Ascended Entrepreneur program that I do. Is you're saying that everything has active intelligence. Everything has consciousness, and if you communicate, you can, like you and I have consciousness, so we can communicate to each other verbally and physically. We can hear each other. But you can also communicate via telepathy with the consciousness of your computer, of your book, of your apartment, of your car, or whatever, and have an ongoing conversation with them all the time. And they'll tell you what their needs are, what they want to do, what their intentions are, and so forth. If you just listen, and that's what the meditation is really good for. But okay, I hear you. But go ahead.
Yeah. So have you ever heard of it's the newest branch of science, I believe, which will be the branch of science will take off in the future once the scientists wake up. It's called hydronic mechanics. I think I'm saying the word wrong. A hydron. Have you heard of a hydron? Or hedron? Hedronic mechanics.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe, but I don't think so.
Okay. So a hedron. Let's just make sure I get the right word. I'm saying it wrong. Hedronic mechanics. Hedronic mechanics. Okay. Well, let me just tell you what
is it. What are you talking about? What is it?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So one of the main, and I'm saying the wrong. It's hedron. Hedron. Hedronic mechanics. So one of the main explorers of this new science, he's ostracized in the science community, so he's in Florida right now, and his name is he's probably there with the former healer that used to do the dream therapy. What's his name? In another life, but anyway. This guy's ostracized, so he's writing books, and he has books out online. You can try to read them. I read all 4 books, and it just totally fried my brain. So I don't fully understand what hadronic mechanics is, but what I understand is at the center of the hadron, if I'm hadron, I don't know what the name of it is, but they have these big collider smashers of hadrons at these MIT or wherever. Anyway, at the center of this thing, he calls it super dense medium. So they used to say at the center of all things were particles, or they didn't know if they were particles or waves, and they finally figured out that they were neither particles or waves, but they're simply consciousness manifesting as either physical or spiritual, which is the 2 duality phases of this universe. So, but what hadronic mechanics is actually understood is that at the center of the hadron is no longer a particle or a wave, it's a super dense medium, which I love that word medium because medium conjures up a lot of different images. And
are you a medium, Tim?
We're all mediums, so we can get into that later. But anyway, we're all mediums. You're a medium. I'm a medium. So is Liz, and she's super medium. Anyway, this super dense hyper medium at the center of the hadron is what is it called? Hyperlocal and hypertemporal. What that means is it's everywhere and everywhen all at once. So it's a time-traveling, super-dimensional, hyper-dense medium that is our super consciousness that we all have. So if every one of you on this call is actually more than you ever knew you were being, and you might have to write 6 or 7 books to finally get a clue of what you really are. And if you do that, you might understand that you're superhuman and you're beyond anything this world can possibly hold into a box called a human being. So that's why when you're trying to do these calls and the calls hang up on you and the websites go off, it's because you're a superhuman, you're a super being, and this whole system can't hold you back.
Got it.
Okay.
So okay, go ahead.
So that's what I'm.
Sure, why not?
I'm just discovering. Liz probably has something to say about it.
We have Liz, who's a friend of Tim's out of the East Coast. She's also on the line with us, and in fact, I opened up her line thinking that was Tim, and I go, "Hey, Tim," and she says, "No, it's not Tim, it's me, Liz." I said, "Okay, fine." So anyhow. But go ahead, Liz. Did you have something to say about this?
What about mediumship, or which part?
About what Tim was just asking you concerning these dense mediums. Dense mediums.
Oh yeah.
Or just about mediumship. Yeah, that's a good way to go off into another tangent.
Well, that just hits you all fuck. You don't know where it comes from. I got it from actually breathing with the electronics, with everything surrounding me. I learned how to actually take it in my pores.
Take what in? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Well, I actually listen to all the vibrations around me, from all the sounds, from everything around me. I just quiet my mind, and then I take it in the pores, take it through every part of me so I can breathe with everything in the room. And I'm able to calm myself a lot better. I can actually think and everything else, but I can, my conscious goes up higher. So that's how I do it. Worked for me.
Do you levitate too?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you really? And how far up the ground do you levitate?
Well, I've gotten to the ceiling.
Really? That high? Holy cow. Now, it's not exorcism, right? It's you're levitating, right?
Yeah, I tried to fly, but I couldn't fly.
Oh, man. That's funny because I just watched Peter Pan, that movie that just came up. It's kind of cheesy, but the special effects and it was pretty interesting. So this guy was flying around, so it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it really does work, though, when you listen to the vibrations around you. And, when you feel the vibrations, you know, and take it in with your breaths, and eventually your heartbeat and everything will go with that flow. And it works so well. It helped me a lot. It really has.
So you're a fairy. Now you're telling us. Duh.
Right?
Well, so what I hear you saying, if you breathe in your environment and become one with your environment, you don't even have to think about it. You just become one with your environment, and then you can literally, with your mind, I'm assuming with your mind, levitate and move around in the space that you're in. That's what I'm hearing you saying.
Right. Mhm.
Okay.
Definitely.
So could I? That's perfect segue.
Go ahead.
Into
Let's get back to Tim. Go ahead.
Perfect segue. Levitation is where I was going to get going, so that's perfect segue into levitation, because my brain just totally got fried. But the novel I wrote over a 2-year period, but I took a year off break. It was my longest relationship in my whole life. I had a relationship with a Wiccan girl, and anyway, we won't get into that.
Oh man, go ahead. We don't have to go there. That's okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I know. I don't have anything against Wiccan girls. It's just like my last 4 or 5 girlfriends have been highly psychic, and I understand where you're coming from. But go ahead.
Okay, so I wrote the first half of the novel. It took me 7 months, and I wrote it mostly all at Dietrich's or Starbucks or whatever it was at the time in Orange County, where they have the upstairs. It's a Starbucks inside a Barnes and Noble or something like that. I wrote it inside on the nice couches that they have up there in Orange County, and every night after I got off my banking job, I was a banker at the time, crazy enough as that sounds. In Orange County, in the center of the beast, I was a banker.
Wow,
and,
no kidding.
So I wrote the first first half of it in 7 months, and then I had a year relationship. I couldn't write. I had writer's block, and then when I broke off that relationship, I wrote the next half of it in 3 months. So the total book took about a year to write, but in a 2-year period, and the second half of the book is totally different than the first half of the book. The first half of the book is about this crazy punk rock kid getting stoned and stealing things and learning about the crazy history of the U.S. and all the stuff that if anyone goes on Google now, it's all on. At the time I was writing it, there was no videos online. I didn't even have online, so I couldn't learn all these things. So it was all through a process of reading books at the library and listening to Pacifica Radio and doing all other kinds of stuff that I found all of this stuff. So I wrote all about the stuff that I wanted to change in the world. But then the next half of the book became his discovery into Buddhism. And in Buddhism, the final teachings of Buddhism, actually the penultimate teaching of Buddhism is called the Lotus Sutra. The final sutra was called the Nirvana Sutra. And the Nirvana Sutra is just a recapitulation of the Lotus Sutra. And in the Nirvana Sutra, it says that everything I taught in the Lotus Sutra is my ultimate truth, and it's not going to be ready to be taught until the 500 years after I die. So that was what the Nirvana Sutra was about. But in the Lotus Sutra, which is what he discovers at the halfway through the novel, is there's a levitation scene in the Lotus Sutra. So this assembly, it's called the Assembly at Eagle Peak, which is the historical Buddha Shakyamuni. We call him Siddhartha, we call him Gautama, whatever you want to call him, but he called himself awake. So what if every one of us were sleepwalking most of our life, and all we had to do is wake up, and that's what he was teaching. So everyone, when he came out of meditation, out of samadhi under the Bodhi tree, and they said, "What are you? Are you a demon?" And he said, "No." "Are you a god?" Because he was glowing, and he was like pretty much floating off the ground when he walked. And he said, "No, I'm awake." So they called him the Awakened One, which in the old language is Buddha. So actually, every one of us are a Buddha from time without beginning, but it's a matter of how much we're willing to wake up. So all my years of writing books and all my years of energy healing and all my years of writing music, I've discovered that there's only one sickness that the whole planet has, and it's what's the sickness for forgetting? I just forgot the word.
Amnesia.
Amnesia. So the only sickness we all have, and there's many symptoms of amnesia, is the only disease we all have is amnesia, because we're all infinite beings from time without beginning, and once we wake up and realize that we are a Buddha, because that's what Buddha means. It means awakened one. So I'm slowly waking up, and I've been waking up for the last however many years I came into this body, but I'm also now waking up to my previous incarnations, which I don't want to get into on this show, but I was one of the founding members of a certain group of secret societies in Europe, which I'm still learning about, so I can't really talk about it yet on the line. And then before that incarnation, I was a monk in 13th century Japan, which I'm still learning about, because there's very few things written about this guy, and I'm still trying to find out more about him before I'm willing to come out of the closet about that. And the life before that, I was a sophist in Greece in the time of Socrates. So I'm still don't know much about that, but I was still getting connections with that. And every one of my lives I've been a walkout, and I've always been a walk-in. So
really?
I've never died.
No, because I know this guy here, in fact, here in Phoenix, that claims that he used to be Socrates, and some of the stuff that if you look at some of his background and some of the stuff that he does, it's very interesting. And I can't say one way or another, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was. So it's just
well, after this call, my body's getting a strong muscle test on that. So after this call, please connect me with him, because I was one of Socrates' main disciples. I'm getting.
Oh, really? So that would be interesting to. I don't know if I still have his information, but we'll figure that out later. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So. Anyway, so I'm still learning. I'm still finding out who I am. So anytime someone asks me who I am, it's going to take all day. So let's probably stop it at that, because
I hear you.
Be here
so I want to get back to your book. In terms, so actually I want to get back to the part where your dad is deceased. You're basically acting out. Is what I'm understanding. And then you start to go through this dramatic shift with your life, and then and transform into Buddhism. So I kind of want to talk about that. But what I want to do right now is I want to take a quick break, and I want to thank all of you guys again for stopping by. And I'm going to be opening this up to Q&A. We'll talk a little bit more about the book and how that transformed or transpired, and then we'll also entertain some questions. And I do have 3 people here. It looks like they have questions. So I want to play a song called "The Hidden Reality." How befitting, by David Young from his album "Sounds from a Higher Consciousness." And so I want to send out love, light, blessings, peace, angels of light, and love to everybody here on the phone lines in our chat rooms, and all our family and friends, and to to the President of the United States and his family, to all the people that are running for office and their families, especially the ones that are acting out of right, healthy relationship status mode. So, and then I want to send out love, blessings, Jesus, angels of light, love to all the kids and the animals and the plants on the planet, especially ones in need concern. Anybody else that you guys want to add to that?
No, except that you're all hyper-dense mediums that are hyper-local and hyper-temporal.
yeah, we're all hyperactive. What'd you say? Okay, fine, whatever. So anyhow, the hidden reality to let's send out love, blessed Jesus, angels of light, love to everyone else in needing concern on the planet. We will be back. The Hidden Reality by David Young from his album Sounds from a Higher Consciousness, and then we'll talk some more with Tim here now. And now if you were Tim when you were born, who are you now? What's your name now?
That's a really good question. I haven't figured that one out yet.
Okay, we'll come back and find out. Okay, the Hidden Reality.
What are you hearing in the owl's call? Is it everything or nothing at all? Tears of pity will not resolve the hidden mystery your mind cannot solve. Speak to spirit with sweet display, and ask of all things of which you pray. Bend your mind aside to see the hidden reality of you and me, if you believe. You can believe in the hidden reality. Give your love till there is no more, and through your being the source will pour. The light of love in your heart will fill as the hidden reality becomes your will, if you believe. You can believe in the hidden reality.
And we're back. This is Aloha live out of Flagstaff, Arizona with Spiritual News Productions
on Blog Talk Radio and freeconferencing.com, establishing and maintaining right relationships through human violence. Aloha, and tonight we're talking with Tim Janikos out of Japan, which is about, close to 12 noon Monday morning there right now. And we've been talking to him about how he grew up, how would you say, just lashing out. I'm not sure if lashing out is a good word, but anyhow, and I don't know if you got into a lot of trouble or not, but you were definitely the hellraiser type of guy, it seemed like. And then finally, you said that you ran into some of your dad's materials. You found some of his materials, and that helped change his life. So it's amazing that your father, unbeknownst to him, that because of the work that he did, would allow you to take a whole different path than not, and than you are now. And we also talk about him being a walk-in. For those who don't know what a walk-in is a person. It's two souls that come in and share one body. Usually, there's some kind of dramatic, intense thing that happens, an accident or some kind of incredible, stressful situation occurs, and then the one soul leaves the body, and then the other one takes over, and they have this agreement. So Tim is saying that he was a walk-in at the age of 1. Now, most of the walk-ins that I've talked to or talked about they're older, they're in their 20s or 30s or so, and then there's that shift that takes place and goes from there. So now, one of the things that's unusual of this whole story is that, number one, Tim says that he used to be Tim Janikos. Janikos or Janikos?
Janakis.
Oh, Janakis. Oh, sorry. Janakis.
Okay, no one can pronounce it.
He says he used to be Tim Janakis, but you don't even know what your name is now. So now,
okay.
With that in mind, at 1 year old, you would still be having your family, and even though you still had a memory, because all your memories and your cell the molecular structure of your body still. And you retrieve from that to gain memory for whatever experiences. So, being that you had the only experiences that you had were from prior lifetimes, and then only 1 year of this lifetime, it's interesting to know what it is your experiences are now. And then right now you're saying that you don't even know what your new name is, or who the name of your soul is, or whatever. I'm assuming. So,
okay.
Go ahead, wherever you want to pick up.
So,
and then we're going to open it up to questions too as well. But go ahead.
One of my many mentors in healing taught me something very important. Her name is Rika Zimmerman. She taught me that all definitions, and she got this from her mentor, which I won't name on the air, that all definitions are limitations, and all beliefs are limitations, and all names are limitations. So Sir Francis Spear-Shaking Bacon said it best. He said, "A rose of any other name smells just as sweet. So wherefore art thou, Tim? Wherefore art thou, Tim Janakis?" Why I'm Tim Janakis, I don't know.
Got it. And I don't know that you care to find out the name of this new walk in that you are now, but I guess you'll figure that out when the time comes. But go ahead.
Yeah. So what if I am you and you are me and we are all together?
You're Andrew Aloha now. Now you're reflecting me. Okay, fine.
I am you and you are me and we are all together. Yes, we are actually all oneness, which is what I'm slowly realizing over my. And you said as I was growing up, I still haven't grown up yet, but if I ever do grow up, which I don't plan on growing up, it'll be a curse, because actually I'm unadulterated, which most people are adulterated because they become adults, and then they lose all their spontaneity, and they lose all their spunk, and they lose all their true self, which is the self that they bury deep inside this ego called adult. So I remain unadulterated.
So does that mean you're PG rated, you're R rated, you're X rated? What kind of rating are you now?
Okay, so there you go again with the definition. All definitions are limitations. So I'm an infinite being. So I'm everything and nothing all at once.
Oh, you're guru rated. Okay, now we understand. So anyhow, go ahead. Go ahead.
So actually, I am everything and nothing all at once. So like the super dense medium at the center of the hadron is hyperlocal and hypertemporal, meaning it's everywhere and everyone all at once. It is everything, and it is nothing all at once. So in the Buddhist sutras, in the threefold Lotus Sutra, there's what's called the 23, I think it is, comparisons. I can't remember the exact number, but anyway, it's basically a definition of what life is, and it says it's neither round, neither square, neither going, neither coming, neither this, neither that, neither, and it goes through every different possibility of whatever reality can be, and it says it's neither that or this. So every opposite, I want everyone on the radio show to say what Andrew says right now. If you can repeat after me, Andrew, say, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Say it.
Everything is, just is, period. There's no opposite.
Okay, no,
there's no, okay. You know, everything just is.
Okay, so Liz, is Liz open? Liz can help you.
Liz, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Liz, do me a favor. This is going to be opening up everyone to their unlimited being on the radio program. So if everyone can repeat with Liz. Liz, just say Becca Mex.
Becca Mex.
Everything is the opposite. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is the opposite of what it.
Okay, and say Becca Mex. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Okay, now say Becca Mex. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Becca Mex. Everything is opposite of what it appears to be.
Now say Becca Mex. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. Becca Mex. Becca Mex.
Becca Mex.
Yes. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Becca Mex. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Oh, Becca Mex. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be.
Okay. So for everyone on the program who didn't do that, you can go back and do that. You can do that as many times until you finally wake up to the fact that you are an infinite being from time without beginning. Because everything that you try to define or everything you try to put in a box of a cognitive awareness or cognitive mind fuck, I didn't say that on the radio, a box of this reality becomes a definition, which is a limitation. So what if you are an infinite being and you cannot be defined and you cannot be put in a box and you are beyond everything that you could ever imagine and you're even better than that? So that's what I'm here to open up the possibility of what if all you guys on this radio program are beyond anything your wildest dream could have ever imagined you would be. And if you are willing to step into that right now with me, and I'm going to give you guys just as I tell you this story of this kid, I'm going to give you the invitation to step into this new reality that we're all co-creating on this call. So how does that all sound?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know who I am, but I know that I am you and you are me and we're all together. That's all I know because the Beatles told me that. But I don't believe any...
And together right now... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't believe anything because all beliefs are limitations, but I do have faith. One of my mentors said, faith is to fear nothing, to stand unswayed, the power to surmount any obstacle. Faith is the source of all solutions. It is the mighty ship needed to cross the sea of sufferings. So I'm willing to open up to the infiniteness of faith because faith, tell me, Andrew, the truth. truth, can anyone who has absolute faith ever be defeated?
No. Well, because
No.
it's like this. Beyond faith, there is knowingness. And so it's what happens is when people are coupled with faith with their heart, in their heart space, they start to get to and do get into the area of knowingness. And when you get into knowingness state, you can accomplish anything. You can do whatever you want. You can, and anything that comes through, you already know what to be true, whatever's coming through. So it's like that.
Exactly. And the last song you played was a totally good. What was the name of it again?
It was by David Young from his new album, Sounds from a Higher Consciousness. I think it was number something about reality.
Yeah, the reality you're not able to see, or the hidden reality. It was something about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the reality that the Buddha under the Bodhi tree awoken to, this infiniteness from time without beginning, which he was and I am and you are and everyone is. That is so beyond this reality that you can't even put it into words. So he took 40 years to try to put into words what was beyond all words. And then finally, in his last 8 years of teachings, he said, I have not yet revealed the truth. So all of his disciples who followed him for 40 years and thought he had taught them everything they would need to know to live a completely happy and fulfilling life for the rest of eternity were really discouraged, because he said, I have not yet revealed the truth. And so in my novel, halfway through the novel, W.C. finally finds out what the truth is. And what the truth is that everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. So in the Lotus Sutra, the 20 whatever negations that I just tried to remember, I can't remember the exact one. You're gonna have to look it up. Is that everything?
Hang on a second. The idiot that anyhow. Let me call you back in. Time out.
Okay.
This idiot disconnected us again.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear myself too.
I hear myself too.
Cool. So me and Liz are having a party. So Liz, what's happening is we're on Blog Talk Radio and he's on conference call. So his conference call cut him off. So I'm just going to keep going on because I know all the people in Blog Talk Radio are with us, and he's with us in spirit. So we're going to go on and talk about this infiniteness we all are, that is beyond time and space and beyond all realities we can put in a box of definitions and limitations. So I just looked up what it is. It's the something negations. I'm going to look it up because it's in the Threefold Lotus Sutra, which is the last 8 years of teachings of the historical Buddha. And in the sandwiched in between two sutras is the Ultimate Sutra, which is called...
This conference is being recorded.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. We got you. So while you were cut off, we were still talking to the radio audience, me and Liz, so we're all cool. Anyway.
What? How rude. No, go ahead.
We took over. My next CD, which is being recorded in Italy right now. I recorded the vocal parts. The rest of the band's recording now in Italy. The rest of it is going to be called tentatively.
Did you tell everyone that you're a musician and we're going to be bringing you on the Golden Age Music Show? I can't remember when. I think in April of next year or whatever. But if you guys are interested, you can come back for that. But go ahead.
Yeah, so my next CD is tentatively titled "The Cyborg in an Adolescent's Head." So you're going to have to read about what that means.
Cyborg in an adolescent's head. I don't know. Yeah. That sounds pretty robotic to me. That's all I got to say.
So anyway, so that's another topic for another day. So we're going to have to get into that on the next show.
Exactly.
So anyway, this kid actually, one of my other healing mentors, Davidson. What happens whenever I try to think of names, I get a download of all the lifetimes we shared together, and they had millions of names, which I hate names because of that. So Karin Davidson, there we go. I got the download fully. So Corin Davidson was teaching me how to do matrix re-imprinting. What that is you go back in time and you reprint the matrix that you had created through your thoughts, words, and deeds. So what I did with the novel is I reprinted the matrix of my life and this person's life I've came into. So actually my dad, as I said, everything is the opposite of what it appears to be and nothing is the opposite it appears to be. My dad is the toxic mimic of the character he becomes in my novel.
Oh,
so what if you guys don't know what toxic mimic is everything in this world has a toxic mimic. So when the government's saying we're going to give you democracy, they're going to give you the toxic mimic of democracy. And when the pharmaceutical giant says they're going to give you a medicine that's going to cure your disease, they're going to give you a toxic mimic of the true medicine, which the native herbal ancestors had, which they toxically mimicked in the laboratory, which is going to be the exact opposite of what it appears to be. So my dad was actually fully against Buddhism, and he actually ripped up my mom's first scroll, which is we call a Gohonzon, and he smashed her first altar, which is a Butsudan. But in writing the novel, I decided to do matrix re-imprinting, which is to rewrite his story as what he could be if he chooses to be it. He's still tuning in, turning on, dropping out, but I still love him. And I finally found him after 37 years, and he reminds me of the guy on the Back to the Future, the crazy scientist who goes, "We're going to go to the tree. 101 tree."
No kidding.
Like that guy.
So now what I want to do right now, Kim, so if you want to finish up this thought, I want to go ahead and open up the lines to questions and answers, and then go from there. We got about 28 minutes, I'm assuming that'll be enough time, but go ahead.
Cool. I'm
okay, are you ready for that now?
I'm totally ready for that. I was totally ready for that when I started.
Okay. Area code 954, Aloha, you're on the air. Area code 954.
Ho'oponopono in Orange County, 954. 954 is in the East Coast.
Whoever it is, they have their hand up. I'm assuming they have their hand up for a question. So I'm gonna do the next question. Aloha, area code 520. That's in the Tucson area. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. Thank you very much. Who are we talking to?
My name is Tony. Love your show.
Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, and, I just recommended from Miss Arizona.
Miss Arizona, really? So are you talking about Tim from Japan being recommended, or are you talking about the Spiritual Productions radio show?
No, Miss Arizona is one of the callers on my show, so they introduced probably him to us. So that's cool.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Got it.
No,
I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Tony.
Tony, did you have a question for Tim?
Yeah, I've been having this crazy dream, and I didn't know if it'd be appropriate to ask about that.
Please do.
Go ahead. Do whatever you want to do, Tim. It's up to you.
Okay, so I had a dream 2 nights ago. Very strange. I didn't know if I was in my home in Tucson or I have another home in Scottsdale. But anyways, I was sleeping in my dream, and a car pulls up, and couldn't really tell who was in the car, but it was like evil, and it just was very freaky. And I became aware that I was dreaming, but I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I ended up kind of screaming, goosebumps all over the place. I just didn't know what it was about. And I've had strange stuff occurring in my home in Tucson, like my garage door went all crazy over the weekend, lights, burning out, stuff like that. And I didn't know if it was related to the dream or what to think. So I thought I would just throw it out and see what you guys think.
Cool. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is everything you're not willing to know, perceive, receive about what that dream meant to you, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is and everything that brings up times a Buddha zillion?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod and pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so truth, was this dream trying to get you to wake up inside the dream? Was this nightmare trying to get you to wake up? Truth, what do you feel?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I had the dream not when I was in Tucson, but I had the dream when I was actually in Scottsdale.
Okay. So one of my many things I do is when I was 4 years old or 3 years old, I can't remember the exact date, my babysitter, who was also in the same Buddhist organization as my mom, we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and she chanted it really fast, and it sounded just like this: Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao. Ever since that day when I was 3 years old, I can remember exactly how she chants. But anyway, she put us to sleep, and I was 3 or 4 years old, because my mom was at a Buddhist meeting and she was babysitting us, and she started doing her crazy Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, which usually would sound like Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, but she did it so fast it sounded like Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo Ningao, Namo. So
ammonia, what?
Yeah, I don't know how she does it, but that's how she does it. Anyway, everyone to each their own. It works whether you do it that way or you do it the way I do it, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So she started doing that, and I was asleep, and I started levitating from the bed.
Oh my God!
Holy cow!
And I realized that, okay, what if all of our dreams are a chance for us to realize this is a threefold world? So in the Lotus Sutra and in all the sutras, the Buddha calls this world a threefold world, and most people who teach about Buddhism never get into what that means. So I am just starting to learn what that means, because I'm starting to teach astral projection, multidimensional travel, and I'm also starting to teach lucid dreaming, which is all part of the same phase state consciousness, which your dream was trying to get you to open up to. So all the nightmares that you're having, and anywhere you're not willing to open up to the threefold reality of this universe and this multiverse, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is and everything that brings up times the Buddha zillion?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and pox, shorts, boys and beyonds. So all the other callers, if you didn't know what I said and if you didn't hear what I said, that's because whatever I said was actually reprogramming your consciousness. So if you go back and listen again and say yes, it'll actually open up, because this is the cyborg in the adolescent's head that I'm going to be revealing on my next CD. So actually, you are an infinite time traveler from time without beginning, and you're just starting to wake up to that, and your dreams are trying to help you wake up to that. And so they're going to keep giving you nightmares until you go, in the dream you go, wait, this is a dream. And once you say that, this is a dream, and then you start taking control of the dream, your nightmare is going to go, oh, shit, I no longer have control of him. And then you're going to, in your waking life, you're going to realize that actually this is a dream right now. The fact that you're calling in and that Andrew's here and Liz and we're all here having this big party and all the other multidimensional beings from time without beginning are actually all with us right now on this radio program, you're going to realize this is a dream. You are dreaming.
Okay, that helps. I wonder why I was paralyzed.
Okay. So you're paralyzed because you're not willing to step into who you truly be. So everywhere you haven't been willing to realize that you're an infinite being from time without beginning, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is and everything that brings up times the Buddha zillion?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod and pox, shorts, boys and beyonds. So now that you're willing to step into your true power, the true being that's infinite, those dreams will no longer have control over you. And then you'll realize when your garage doesn't work and your car doesn't work, you just have to say, you know what, this is my reality. I'm not taking it anymore. Car, start right now.
Exactly.
If you're willing to give that power, if you're willing to give the power that you have, which is unlimited, into that car, the car will not fuck with you anymore. And I'm sorry to cuss on the air right now, but sometimes it's
no. I hear you. I said exactly. So, you change your mind, and all of a sudden it shifts. Everything shifts. And that's sad. Yeah. But people don't get it a lot of times.
Yeah. So I had to realize it by getting stuck on the mountain roads in Japan, going through toll road tunnels forever, and my car says I'm on empty, and there's no gas station for another 100 and something kilometers, and then I have to go, okay, what consciousness have I never been willing to be that I'm now willing to be for my car, to work in communion with my own consciousness, to feed on to my energy and the energy of the universe, to go another 100 and something miles on empty. And I first learned this when I was driving through Flagstaff, Arizona, because I drove through Flagstaff, Arizona to see my other Wiccan girlfriend before this other Wiccan girlfriend who lived in New Mexico. Her name was Margarita. She's still on my Facebook friend. She's a really amazing person. But anyway, I drove on bald tires with the treads hanging out of the tires, and I should have got a flat tire. And I ran over a rock and it knocked out my oil thing knocked out when I got to see her in New Mexico. And I drove back somehow, and the car stayed together back to California. I drove for 24 hours straight because I was so scared that the car was physically impossible to drive, but it was somehow levitating from New Mexico to California. And in that moment, I realized that we are all in communion. And once you're willing to be in full communion, this reality starts doing things that you thought were never possible, because you're being you. And once you're willing to be you, this reality will just totally shift to be the infinite reality it should be, and not the crazy fucked up reality that they keep telling us we have to take Prozac and we have to do all this other stuff that we don't have to do. We don't have to watch the corporate media. We can be watching all Andrew Aloha all day long, every day, and it can be on CNN. It can be all over the place. We don't need to buy into all this lies that they tell us every day. So your dreams are going to start telling you more and more that if you don't wake up in your dream and take control of your dreams, which you could if you listen to my YouTube video. I have one out. I'm going to put another one out probably this week, how to take control of your dreams, because it's one of the threefold realities of this universe that if you don't take control of, what is one of the great citizens of the U.S. says, Ralph Nader, if you don't turn on to politics, politics will turn on you. If you don't turn on to your dreams will turn on you. That's what I'm just saying. So tune in, turn on, drop out, and listen to my show, because we're going to be all turning on. And I just think Andrew got dropped off somehow, so maybe he's messaging.
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
Cool. Okay, so thank you for calling in. We can go on and on about this, but maybe there's other callers who want to get in on this, because we're all together. Whatever the other callers are going to be helping you too, because we're all in this together. We're all co-creating this moment.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave your line open, but I'm going to open up the next line. Area code 11111, unregistered number. Aloha, you're on the air. Aloha. You're okay. So I don't know if this person wants to ask a question or not.
Ho'oponopono for the person. Ho'oponopono.
Exactly. Yeah.
For the person that.
Hang on.
There's.
Okay. I'm going to try this other person. Area code 954. Aloha, you're on the air. Did you want to ask a question? I'm still not getting a response, so that's okay. We'll leave that. Leave it alive. So we got about 16 minutes.
Andrew,
go ahead.
If I can help all the callers, because some of the callers, they're speechless when you unmute their call, they're speechless, because you're throwing a bunch of consciousness at them that they're not willing to process. So they try to speak, and their voice won't work, and they're like in those dreams where they go and nothing comes out.
Oh, so they're stuck in talking. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
So everyone on the call. So Andrew, can I do a clearing that will help everybody on this, because you're going to help me with this?
Okay, so I'm going to open up all their lines, and now you can do your clearing. Go ahead.
Okay, so Andrew or Liz, please say yes for me. Everywhere you have not been willing to speak your truth, everyone on the call, everywhere you have not been willing to fully speak your truth and speak what you really want to speak in your heart, because you were afraid this reality would not accept who you truly are, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is and everything that brings up times a Buddha zillion?
Okay.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, POD and POC, shorts, boys and beyond. So now if you go back to those callers, maybe they can speak.
So we're going to go back to area code 954. Area code 954, Aloha, you're on the air. Okay, and maybe they just don't want to ask questions.
Okay, that's fine.
They may just be listening, and that's it.
Florida, has a lot of things going on. So anyway.
Okay, and then the next number is area code 111 unregistered number. Aloha, you're on the air. Okay, so that person probably they're just listening, and that's
okay.
it. But so go ahead. So let's go like this. We got about 14 minutes left. Is there anything else that you want to put out there we haven't talked about?
Yeah, I want to say for everybody, if you can hold a pen in your hand, please write a story this week. If you have to type it on a computer, because you won't realize how amazing you truly are and you truly have been not willing to be for this reality until you start writing about your life, because everyone's life is amazing. And it took me writing about 5 or 6 books to finally realize how amazing my life is. And everyone's life is the exact same way, but they're not willing to put it out there because this reality tells you you're a piece of shit, and you're not a piece of shit. So what if everyone on this call was actually never wrong, and everyone was so great beyond their wildest dreams, and everywhere you haven't been willing to fully be, know, perceive, and receive that, claim, own, and acknowledge that. Liz, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is and everything that brings up times a Buddha-zillion?
Yeah. Right
and wrong, good and bad, online, pod and poc, shorts, boys and beyonds. I think I have to give a disclaimer because I'm doing access processing, which I'm not. I went to the School of Decertified Access Consciousness Facilitators, which is Rika Zimmerman before she left Access Consciousness. So I used to call myself a decertified, pre-certified, quasi-certified, multi-certified, post-certified, astro-certified energy healer, because the only certification I need really is my birth certificate to energy healing. So my sister has a question.
Who is that?
The cyborg in an adolescent's head's tuning in. So
okay.
I'm willing to be beyond anything this reality is allowing us to all be without any certification, because I'm claiming this body I jumped into at age 1 or 2 birth certification as the only certification I need. So if any of you guys have a birth certificate, you guys are all qualified to be infinite beings beyond anything this reality has ever allowed you to be. So that's all I want to tell you guys, and I'm just being the space to allow you to be that who you always be, because I am you and you are me.
Okay, that's your story. You're sticking to it.
That's it. I'm sticking to it.
So we still got a few minutes left. I'm very curious, and I'm not talking about curious. I'm just saying curious. Okay, I'm very curious about what your name is now, as the walk-in that you are.
Oh, okay. I do know my name. My name is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
What? Is that a Japanese name?
My name is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo.
Okay, so what does that mean in English?
I would have to write 5 books, but the main translation is the wondrous law of the lotus blossom.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So the lotus blossom blooms in the muddiest swamp, and they say the more beautiful, the more. If you've seen the movie by Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? On the beginning of the movie, it says, the more beautiful the lotus, or the muddier the swamp, the more beautiful the lotus blossom, which is part of the toxic mimic. This environment is the toxic mimic of the true reality, which we're all going to co-create together. And this is the muddy swamp that we're all blooming from, and we're becoming the most beautiful lotus blossoms because this muddy swamp is so muddy. And that's why we're able to be the most beautiful lotus blossom, is because the toxic mimic is the reality that this corporate media is trying to sell to us, which is the opposite of what the real reality we're co-creating together, and we're all stepping into, that is beyond anything. We're all going to be walking on clouds. We're all going to be walking on water. We're all going to be flying through the air. We're not going to need to take anything, because we're going to realize we have all the chemicals we need to make, and if we don't need to take them, we just download them, because we can download or upload anything. We can upload from our feet up from the center of the earth, or we can download from the multiverse through the top of our head. Anything we need. We can actually be breatharians. We can live off breath. We can be eartharians. We can live off whatever we want to live off. We are actual infinite beings. We don't even need a body. So I'm going to teach you how to exit your body, and eventually we're going to all be able to leave our body and not have to come back to it if we don't want it. But the body is really cool. So I'm not saying we need to leave our body, because our body is our receiver, and I love to receive. So touch my body, and my body is your body. I won't tell anybody. My body is your body. I won't tell anybody. If you want to use my body, go for it. Yeah. That's a song by We Are Scientists. So I love that song.
So now, Liz, do you have any questions you want to ask Kim right now?
What's up with these moons making me have these dreams? I'm actually, I'm ending up in the air.
So I'm gonna ask everyone on the call to be willing to open up to something that you didn't want to ever open up to. So if I say anything that offends you or anything that you think is contrary to your beliefs, I'm willing to allow you to let go of any limitations, because all beliefs are limitations. I don't believe anything. But what I do is I have complete faith, because faith is infinite. And I disregard anything that's limited, because all beliefs can be changed. As we know, we've had lots of beliefs that changed over time. But faith can never be changed. So I have complete faith that we are all infinite beings from time without beginning. But what I'm getting now is the moon, and I'm sorry, Andrew, because Andrew has probably a different take on the moon than I am, but the calculations to calculate how the moon could have possibly been the same exact size when it moves in front of the sun to block out the complete light of the sun, and to be, when it goes on the other side of the earth, to be the exact size to perfectly, the earth fits over the moon completely, exactly the same size. In order for someone to actually calculate how to do that mathematically would have taken computer systems that we don't even have on this planet. So I'm open to infinite consciousness, that infinite consciousness can do anything, but I'm also open to the idea that some people believe that it's a space station. So, and there's many tribes in Africa who have historical records, and their records are all, they said they learned from the dolphins, the Dogons. They had communion with the dolphins, and they were able to speak to the dolphins. They have records of when the moon wasn't there. So their earliest records was when the sky didn't have a moon, and then one day the moon was brought up to the sky. So whether that's true or not, I don't believe anything. I don't disbelieve anything, because I'm open to all possibilities. So I'm willing to open up to the possibility that actually the moon is a space station. But I want, since Andrew's the more of a expert on the moon, I would give this question over to Andrew to fully feel what he feels about it.
Well, the thing that has happened lately, about a week ago, was Mercury went out of retrograde, and it's been direct, which is affecting people's communication process, which could be affecting your dream state process. But now that it's direct, if you were having these dreams before a week ago, then that could be the possibility. But if it's after a week ago, then it could be the process of Mercury going direct and affecting your dream state, which is I wouldn't surprise you.
Actually, I usually don't dream. I usually just project. That's it. And then I had that dream right after the moon. And it was actually after the retrograde. And,
literally the moon went direct, I believe, last Sunday.
That's the first time I've had a dream since I was like 20 years old. And I'm going to be 33 this year, so it's a long time.
So you had a reoccurring dream? Is that what I hear you saying?
The dream.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Was it a reoccurring dream?
No, but I went to sleep, had a dream, and then the next night I had a dream again. And like I said, that was the first time I've had one since I was 20 years old.
Oh, you haven't had a dream? before.
Mhm.
Prior
Okay, so
to you've never remembered your dreams either in color or black and white. You've never remembered
Well, I
your dreams
remember
since 20 years old.
my dream, but these ones by this time are different. They're different.
okay, so can I interject? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Truth, Liz, did you listen to my dream, the audio that I put on YouTube before you started having these differences in dream? Okay, so Truth, everything you're not willing to be, know, perceive, and receive about why your dreams are changing and how that's actually a process of what I've done with you on these dream tracks. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything you haven't been willing to know, be, know, perceive, and receive about that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pot and pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, there you go. So you'll know everything you need to know about why this is changing because you're listening to the audios, and I'm going to put the second one up soon. And the other one is on my call, so you can go listen back to that again. But I'm going to put it up on YouTube real soon, so everyone else can listen to it too.
Makes sense. It actually makes sense when you actually turn around and face somebody that's chasing you or something and ask them what they want. You know?
Yeah, no, just say, or you just turn around and chase them. You go, guess what? This is my reality, and they go, what? And you go, did you know you're actually in my reality, and my reality is controlled by me? And they go, wait a second, this is my reality. You say, no, this is actually my reality. And then they go, oh, shit, and then they run the other way.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
When I was
that's happened. That's happened to me before. I was in a dream, and this is several years ago. I used to write down my dreams, and it got to the point that I remember like 7 or 8 dreams in a row. It was like fade in and then fade in, fade out, and then fade into the next dream. It was like that. It was like a movie. So the very last part of writing down those dreams, I had a dream. I don't know. It was in this dark big house, like a castle almost. It wasn't a castle, but it was like a big house. And so anyhow, there was some dark force there, and it was like really, really like obnoxious. And so I called in the dream. Literally, I called in Archangel Michael and Jesus and asked them to take over and then safeguard and protect me and so forth. And the whatever it was literally went away, and then I woke up right as soon as it went away. So it was kind of interesting how all that worked out.
I heard it's supposed to be ground where you go to sleep, like connect yourself with Gaia for the people that have problems with the dreams, because they've been coming up quite a bit, you know, for someone that doesn't have dreams.
So on my second audio, Liz, the second one I ran the other day on the radio program, the second audio is how to download the Golden Light, and I got that download from a new book I just read, and I would recommend everyone read it. It's called Multidimensional Traveler, and I forget the name of it. Her name is really long, like my name was, and so my real name is Bob.
It's not Bhavna Srivastava, is it?
No. She has a name. She's from somewhere in Sri Lanka or something like that. So she has this Asian name, which I think she's probably changed it to make it so it's easier to pronounce and everything. But anyway, it's just the Multidimensional Traveler. You'll find it, and it's about how to multidimensional travel. And what she does is she opens up her third eye before she goes to bed, and she downloads all this golden light. And I do it on my audio so you can learn how to do it and clean out everything that's holding you back from fully being the person you truly can, you be it. What you've been refusing to be from time without beginning, you can now be, because you are golden light. You are acoustical being. You're no longer trapped by the electrical reality, which is the matrix.
So we only got 60 seconds left, Tim. I want to thank you for stopping by and sharing
Thank
this with us.
you so much.
And if people want to get a hold of you real quick, how do they get a hold of you for more information or whatever?
I think Facebook is the easiest because I have everything on Facebook, all my radio shows, all my stuff, links. So just say Tim Janakis, TimJanakos, and you'll see Tim Janakis Kobayashi there, which is my wife's name too. But yeah.
I want to thank everyone for being here. Have a goddess week. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
Aloha. Ho'oponopono.